Horror is literally the one genre where you can do anything and you decide to be boring. So today I'm going to be talking about my pet peeves in horror movies. If I don't know the characters, it doesn't work. Take Truth or Dare for example. These characters are so undeveloped that I didn't really care what was going to happen to them. I was just trying to guess what's going to happen next. That's what I was doing the whole movie, instead of actually being worried about the characters or hoping that they come out alive. Same thing here. If I don't care about the people on screen, then all the tension just disappears. I don't care. Some stuff is just happening. That's all that's going on here. Now if you compare that to Train to Busan, this movie spends time making sure you care about the characters. You know what their struggles are. You know what they care about. If you know what they care about, what they're struggling with, what they love, then you will somehow still feel empathic to them. You will have empathy, you will care about the character. And Train to Busan is one of those movies that really does it well. It's beautiful, it's devastating, but it's also a good horror movie because you're scared for the characters, which is what it's about. Same for this movie. With Wrong Turn, I cared about the characters, even characters that sadly didn't make it, and I was very sad. I kept rooting for them to win, but they didn't. And that's what makes horror work for me. They don't make me scared at first, they make me care first. Listen, CGI does have its place. I don't always hate CGI. Sometimes it's better to use CGI. There are just so many movies that lack quality because of their use of CGI. For example, Final Destination 4. It completely takes me out of the movie when I see CGI like this. Final Destination is known for its great use of practical effects. And when they go to CGI, it just feels like they're making a cheap sequel instead of putting the effort in to show us the craftsmanship that's needed to create a good story. Now, if we compare that to movies like The Thing has amazing practical effects and it still stands the test of time. It still holds up today. It doesn't falter. It's amazing. It's beautiful. You can see that there are people who have worked hours and hours and hours to make this effect possible in the movie and throughout the whole movie, and it's just something you can appreciate. Even with The Fly, the only movie that ever made me look away but how disturbed I was because I can't handle body horror, it was beautiful. The practical effects were amazing. Even though I will never watch this movie again, I can appreciate it for what it is. Wow, you just appreciate the movie so much more when you know people care and that they have the skill to actually make this with their hands. Practical effects just have a certain thing to them that CGI doesn't, that makes a movie scarier. This is something that movies could use to even shorten their budget, but they don't, is showing the threat or the monster too soon. A Quiet Place, for example. We see the monsters very quickly and that takes me out of it. The thought of something coming for you and just hearing the sounds, if you make a noise, they are coming for you. Hearing that makes you scared. If you hear the noise of the monsters, you're scared. But actually seeing them the whole movie, it makes them less scary because they just look like big spiders. And I'm personally not afraid of spiders. Sometimes your imagination is just scarier than what's being shown on the screen. Now if we compare that to the Blair Witch Project. Blair Witch Project is one of those movies that we all know you don't actually see anything happening. People find it boring. I don't. But you feel the atmosphere, you feel the suspense, you're scared of what the witch does. You see the little things that are in the forest, you see the house, you're scared of seeing something. That's what scares you. You're scared of seeing something and you're scared of what you're gonna see. And I think a lot of movies would benefit from that fear and suspense, and I don't think they use that power that they could have easily taken. Every time there's a character in a movie where they're dismissive of another character, don't worry, nothing's going on, everything's fine, I get completely taken out of the movie. It annoys me so much because why? Can at least one character believe another character when something is wrong? Take Paranormal Activity for example. In that movie, the boyfriend Mika, he doesn't believe his girlfriend Katie at all. He just thinks she's making it up, she's being dramatic, and he exploits her for her fear and then eventually believes her, but still exploits her. If someone I live with told me weird things were happening, I would believe them and make sure we got away from there. I don't know why there has to be a character that dismisses someone for the story to continue going and people to stay at a place. There's another way to make characters stuck in one place if you want them there. There doesn't always have to be a character that's really dismissive or an asshole to keep the story going to reach the climax. There are other ways to make sure, just like in Talk to Me, the story feels natural, stuff is happening, things are inevitable, there isn't a person doing this which makes them half a villain. Characters don't have to be perfect, they just have to be normal people that do normal people things. Horror is literally the one genre where you can do anything and you decide to be boring. You can write about anything. You can write about political things, you can write about society, you can write about funny stuff, you can write about disturbing stuff, you can write about goofy stuff. You can make it as crazy as you want. In horror, everything is possible. So when I see a horror movie that doesn't do any of that stuff, and it doesn't take chances and it's not creative, what's the point? This is the genre where you're free to do so. Do it. Prom Night. This movie feels so safe. It's just a very simple premise. And don't get me wrong, I love a slasher movie. I really do. I don't hate on a simple premise. People go somewhere and they get killed off one by one. It depends on what's happening in the movie itself. Nothing about this movie has stuck out to me. It just felt boring. And there weren't any characters or elements or something about the villain or the lines in the movie that stuck out to me. Even if it was cringy or badly written, it would have stuck out to me more because they experimented with stuff. Now, if we compare this movie to Cabin in the Woods, Cabin in the Woods takes something that's so basic, just a simple, it literally plays into the basicness of the movie, but it turns it into something so different. It turns sci-fi, it turns weird, it's comedic, it's satire, but it's also edgy, and it takes chances because this could have gone so bad, but it went so well, and it's a great movie. And I just think that horror movies are the place to experiment. Evil Dead 2. This movie throws everything serious out the window and just shows you how ridiculous it can be. It tries out new stuff, and if people like it, they'll like it, and if they don't, they didn't. I'd rather watch a horror movie take a big swing and fail than watch a boring horror movie that just doesn't entertain at all. Being disturbing doesn't actually make a movie good. Just because you shocked an audience and they talk about how disturbing or how shocked they were doesn't mean you told a good story. If those disturbing moments or those extremely gory moments don't mean anything, then it doesn't mean anything. Now this is where the movie loses me with its extreme gore. It just went into how disturbing can we make this for people. When I was watching this movie, the only thing I did was react. Just reacting to a movie doesn't make it a good movie. All you're getting is disgust from me. I'm not following a proper story. After the initial shock of the movie, people will forget about it. They might talk about it in a sense of, oh, that movie was disgusting, but that's all you're gonna get. Is that how you want to be remembered as a movie? How disgusting you are? Or do you want to be remembered by the story and how unsettled it made people feel? Now, if we compare that to the movie Martyrs, this is a very highly disturbing movie, very graphic, very unsettling, but it works because the story is deep. This movie is very disturbing, but it still works because you care and because there's a story there. It's not just there to disturb you. The disturbing part is part of the story. It's not the whole story. Same with Hereditary. It's the emotional part of it. It's the family dynamic that stays with me, not the disturbing parts. This is another movie that does disturb you, but it makes it in a way that it fits into the story itself. And at the end of the day, this is what horror is all about for me. The story is the most important part. Everything else is just effort. If you have effort, then I'll appreciate a movie. And if you don't have it, the audience will see it because the audience isn't stupid. So these are my biggest pet peeves. And if I missed anything that you're like, oh, that's something that really grinds my gears when I see it, let me know. I would love to know. And thank you for watching my video. Bye.